webinar. Today's date is February the 9th, 2023, and this is a Thursday morning webinar. And the title of today's webinar is, Are you tired of high prices on everything? So what's the answer to that? Trade futures. All right. And as everyone knows that's been to our webinars or our live trading room, everything that is said or done at Viper Trading Systems is for educational purposes only. Futures trading, Forex trading, any kind of financial instruments trading involves risk. Therefore, there's always risk of loss. You should only trade discretionary capital, and that is money that you can afford to lose. Nothing said in this webinar. Other webinars we have, our live trading room or anything else with Viper Trading Systems, should never be construed as trading or investment advice. And as always, everyone does trade at their own sole discretion. Any questions on the disclaimer? All right, if not, we'll go ahead and get started. By the way, let me go ahead and get rid of this disclaimer first off. I'll go to our normal homepage here real quick. All right, you should be able to see our homepage. Now, if you haven't been in our webinars before, I see some names that I've never seen before, so I assume that you've never seen us. So I'm going to go over a little bit about us. Viper Trading Systems started in 2009, and basically two guys kind of met together and just started trading together is what it really boiled down to, and then started developing some scripts and different things like that. Went with NinjaTrader for a platform, and the rest is history. Been in business for almost 14 years this spring, and been teaching people to trade futures all over the world. And one thing that we have always liked, now, by the way, my business partner of 13 years, he passed away in September. So it is just me nowadays as Viper Trading Systems, but I will always endeavor to do the best calls every single day that I possibly can. And if you've been in our trading room, you hear them. Okay, and we get nicely green every day and we turn off the machine. That's the key to it. Okay, so basically the reason I had this webinar today is because, you know, I've talked to a lot of people and they're just getting pretty sick and tired of, you know, having just like regular jobs, and, you know, everything goes up from, just like I said, from eggs to hamburger to, you know, cars, you name it. And if you trade for a living, you can kind of, you know, set your own goals. You know, I've traded for a living for a long time now. And, you know, one of my goals was to set up a solar system for my home. And I've got nearly 100 grand in that thing now, but it's a killer solar system that's got 70 solar panels and 2 big old batteries and 3 inverters. So it's quite a system. And that's all paid for by trading markets. You know, mostly oil paid for it as far as that goes, because I like oil the best of all the instruments that I trade. So if you're, you know, kind of getting tired of these things that are going on out there and you want to trade for a living, you know, or even for some extra income, you don't have to trade for a living necessarily, but you can trade for extra income, because extra income will make up for all these things that are happening around the world, and you won't have to worry so much about prices. Now, years ago, when we started this business, when Charles and I started this business back in 2009, you didn't have any ways that you could do an account rather than starting your own account with $5,000 or $10,000. But nowadays, that's done away with. You can actually get these accounts with these vendors out there, and if you can prove you can trade, they'll pay you a living, and it boils down to that it can be quite a nice living as far as that goes. So like I said, we've been in business since 2009. This is my website now, is vipertradingsystems.com. Okay, this is the home page. And if you happen to go to, for instance, if you join us as a member, you'll actually get a login, and that login will take you right here. Now, this little area right here will get you into the members area, which is a lot of training, you know, the free video library, which a lot of people get, the weekly links for the trading room and the webinar during the week, and also even our scripts. So, you know, and everything's even with instructions and all that. Like, for instance, if I wanted to download the scripts, there's some instructions on how to do it. And I usually even have a video up, okay, on that part. And if you go into the members area, you'll see just all kinds of things. Now, if you've never been with us before, which most of you have at least taken the trial, we do have a free trial and we have some free training webinars too. Okay. Now, what I was talking about being able to get, for instance, extra coin in your pocket without actually putting a bunch of your own money in. Did you know you can actually get an account with this company called Apex? Okay, Apex has been around for quite a while, but they just started really being a vendor here about 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half. Okay, and they offer right now, for instance, an 80% discount and even 80% recurring with our code. Okay, so basically, if you go to their website, you'll actually see that their $50,000 account, and that's the one I personally recommend because it's easy to pass. Uh, you only have to hit a goal of $3,000. With my trade calls, you might be able to hit that in just a couple of days. Okay, and you just have to trade 7 days, and you can't draw down more than $2,500. So there's like a $50,000 account to be able to go in and trade somebody else's money. And how easy is it to trade our system? Well, if you actually go to our charts, here's a chart right here that I happen to trade this morning because I like to trade when I get up first thing in the morning with crude oil. I'll go ahead and draw lightning 1 on this also. Okay, so basically, if you look at this chart right here without any prices or anything, I think anybody can see that you're in kind of a downtrend. If I drew it from up here, you'd probably see it even better. So I'll draw it from up here. See, so your thrust, retrace, thrust, retrace, thrust. Okay, so basically you can already tell that if that takes that out right there, you're no longer heading down, right? But now you want to figure out where the next trade is. It's very, very important to figure out where the next trade is. Okay, so one thing that I do at Viper Trading Systems is I teach people to see these trades in real time so that they can actually take these trades in real time and make serious coin. Okay, here's your chart right here. Now, I've got a new tool that we just added, probably several months ago, that's called an auto fib, and you could actually put it on your previous swing. And for you Fibonacci lovers out there, which I'm a Fibonacci lover, when I get a small thrust like that, unless it keeps going down, I like to look for a 50 to 61%. So there's 50 and there's 61 right here. Okay, so, and then I look and say, okay, there's my mid band also. So this is actually, in my personal opinion, a little sweet spot for another trade, because what I said earlier was a low, a high, a lower low. You can't really take this out and be heading down anymore. See? So you've got to get a lower high if they're going to continue heading down. So you would simply just box this in and get ready to take the trade. But we've got another tool in with Viper Trading Systems called the mid-band assist. And this mid-band assist, what it'll actually do is it will look for like a mid-band trade. For instance, I'll show you here real quick. All right, this is in this is called Object Trader. Now I know a lot of you have seen Object Trader, and if you've taken a trial with us, you've even used Object Trader, because I do give Object Trader as a trial also. And you've got the same version that I do, except that mine will trade in live money where the one on trial won't. But if you're a member with us, obviously you've got everything. Okay, so basically when you see something like this, I teach this particular trade like clockwork. First time after a trend change with a stair-stepping mid-band. This is definitely a stair-stepping mid-band. We're looking for a mid-band trade. Okay, so I could actually either box this in with a region, or I could even turn on my mid-band trader, say mid-band, and then turn it on short and set it for however many contracts I want. Set it for whatever targets I want. It'd be that easy. Okay, so when that does get up there into that mid-band, and it does actually fire a bar to the downside, it will take that trade, but it has to get in what we call the sweet spot first. Okay, so let's just say that you want to make an extra, say, $500 a day. Okay, 500 a day. If you could do it consistently is $2,500 a week, right? You could, of course, take some commissions off and things like that, obviously. But let's say you try to get 500 a day, even counting your commissions and everything, which is doable. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to just take a few trades in the morning, and the cash session, is the best time. I open my trading room at 10 minutes till 8 Central Time, and I leave the trading room open until 10 o'clock Central Time. So there's lots and lots of good trades at that time. Okay. So what you want to do as a trader is to take advantage of those times. Now, see, we've actually moved. Notice my new Fibonacci is moving with it. Okay. So now we can redraw our lines because we're going a little bit lower, aren't we? So we'll go 50 and we'll go 61. Now I like this little sweet spot now right here instead. See how that's moving down and everything, but we've got our mid-band turned on. So, we're good to go if it does decide to go up there. And keep in mind too, you want to be a quote retrace trader. You don't want to just jump into every single thing that goes on out there. Okay. It's very important because you don't want to chase trades. Okay. You want to get the retrace trades. Now, if you're going to chase trades, what you need to do is you need to make sure they don't go against you at all. Okay. Now, how many, just real quick, show of hands, got quite a few people in here. How many of you trade futures? And do you do it for a living, or do you do it for just some extra income? Show of hands. Just curious. Part-time, okay, some people part-time, some full, okay, full-time traders. And full-time trading, you've got to do the right things and continually do them each day. So what I teach in my webinars and everything is that we're looking for particular trade setups. And yeah, Mark says, for instance, I want to become profitable. Well, that's the whole key to it, is if you can be profitable on your trades and just take a few of them. When I was in the room today, to give an example, if you were there, you heard some trade calls that we didn't just go nuts on, we just kind of scalped them. But if you do those over and over and over, you'll be surprised how well you'll do. Okay. So let's just go ahead and look at this just real quick. I'll just fast forward this just a little bit. You watch these Fibonacci numbers because they're usually pretty good. Now, if this keeps going, Fib will move. And that's fine if it does. We don't care. Okay. But we'll move our line with the Fibonacci. See our 61 and 50. Okay. So our little sweet spot's more right here now, right here now. Still going a little bit. No, it's retracing now, so we're good. So let's go ahead and get rid of our lines just real quick, and we'll look at our fibs again. So we're at 50 is right there, and here's 38 even right here. Okay, now this is what we call a mid-band trade that's setting up as we speak. Okay, and this may just do a 38 because that's a pretty good move. There's your little sweet spot right there. Okay, if that bar actually turns over, this will fire the trade. Okay, and the way that does on that is, well, it didn't fire it on that one for some reason. I don't know why it didn't, but that's your trade right there. Is your little sweet spot. Okay, and with your mid-band trader, you'll find, let's say for instance that this just decides to go down. Always look to the left to trade the right. I like to look at swings. If they come down to those swings, I'm pretty apt to pulling it if it happens to hit it. But just think, if you wanted $500 a day, there's already 200 and something of it almost, but that's only one contract. Okay, now you can also get out of the trade. Now see this one right here, I'd probably take profit, and there it was right there. Okay, so it's really that easy. There's 360 right there, and you just happen to watch your charts and do the right thing. This is called a mid-band first time after trend change. Our traders have told us that that's an 85% probability trade. Now, when you think about 85% probability trade, That's a whole lot better than like 50-50 or, 70-30 or something like that, right? Being 30-70. Okay. So you'll find that you'll do quite well on this. Okay. Now, there's another trade that we look for called a phantom. Okay. You can actually, a lot of our people just set it up for a phantom trade. Just put it on phantom, for instance, at a short. And uh, basically, right here, if this goes up into this little sweet spot, this will fire a trade right in this little sweet spot right here, but it has to be a particular color background. And if it does get that particular color background, and watch when your background changes, you'll see it change. Not yet. I took this trade this morning, that's why I'm showing this too. Watch your background. As soon as that background changes, you'll be looking at more of a phantom type trade. Let's see if it changes. I know it did because I traded this morning. I love phantoms first time after trend change, and mid-bands first time after trend change. And see, there was your little trade on a phantom right there. Okay, and you've got your stop in. You'd put your stop actually at line 8 is where you would put it. Okay, and if it gets it, it gets it, right? But now we look to the left to trade the right. We simply say, okay, where are you heading here, crude oil? I'd look to the left and look at my swings. There's a swing right down here, 51 area. There's another one right down here at 44. See it right there? And then there's another swing right down here at 34. And you just simply ride the trade until it gives you what you want. Now, I'd be putting probably a target down in this area somewhere and another target down here at the low. Okay, because what you want to get anytime that you get into a trade is look to the left to trade the right. Okay, so if this happens to go down, which is not yet, which is fine with me, it can't take out the swing though. See where our stop is? Can't take out that swing or it's not heading down. Okay, you're still in. Now, as soon as this stair steps, I'll lower my stop, but until it does, we got to stay where we're at. Feeling a little bit of heat on it though, aren't we? How many of you get out of a trade and then miss a good run? Because if you draw on your charts, you can clearly see that your swing's right there. So if you put a stop right there, you shouldn't hit it, because if they're going to continue down, they need a lower high. That's the key to trading, is you need, if you're heading down, you need lower highs and lower lows. Okay. Now, right now you've got a high, low, lower high, lower low. You got a lower high here so far. Okay. But it's not doing much for us. So let's just go ahead and take some profit, even at line 2 would be fine. Okay. Because we like to just get like a line 2 type trade. Let's see if it'll roll at all. If it does, it does. Okay. But now keep in mind that if you were trading, okay, you have already got almost your $500. There it is right there. Now, what if you said, you know what, that's enough for me. I don't need any more than that. And you just decided to pull the trigger. Okay. Maybe try to go for $600 if you want to, but keep in mind that you want to keep as close to that 500 as possible. And there pretty much it is. Could you just simply close out for the day? You know, that's $600. You say, you know what, that's pretty good for the day. Okay. You don't have to keep trading. How many people have tried to make like $600 in a day or 5 and then end up giving it back? It's real easy to do. And I know lots of you do it because I've done it in the past myself even. This phantom trade, in my personal opinion, is pretty much over when it's at line 2. Now, I don't care if it goes down any further because I already got the coin that I wanted. By the way, I'm actually in I would show it if I could. I could after we go to live data here in just a little bit. But I've got a trade on crude oil that I'm up about $1,260. And I actually bought it down there at that low. I'll show it in a few minutes. It's not really a day, it's only a few minutes left. You can actually do it in just a few minutes, absolutely. What if you said, you know what, I might want another phantom. We may not get it because it just got one just then. But let's see if we can get another phantom, if we can add to that figure there. Looks like it might go lower. If that crooks down, we'll go ahead and look for even a different type of trade. But it's pretty sideways, so I'd probably look for that phantom again. Yeah, and keep in mind, if you can get this stuff in just a few minutes, okay? I open the room at 7:50, usually about 7:45 actually. So you're getting a good time to get in some good trades then. And all you got to do is just get a couple of them, okay? Just like I showed right there. You'll pass an Apex account, they'll love you to death, they'll start paying you money, and you can trade for a living. And just keep in mind, let's say that you didn't really want to trade for a living, but maybe just some extra coin. There's a phantom trade, by the way, setting up as we speak. Didn't quite get it. Now, usually if I see that happen and it doesn't go ahead and trigger it, I'm going to trigger it myself if it comes down below line 6. Not yet. There it is. I was a little late. It's probably because I'm moving it at 8 times the speed. But anyway, see, now you've got 7:30 or so. You know, you got a decent little trade. You know, you don't have to just go for the gusto on every trade, but where's your low on this? Well, it's right down here. Let's get this one out of the way. What if you said, you know what, I want that low right there, and I'm willing to wait for it? Then you got yourself some extra coin. That's a phantom trade. We take those trades all the time. Okay. Now this turns out to be a pretty good trade. If they ratchet, see how the mid-band's moving down again? Guess what? We're looking for a mid-band trade now. You just simply turn on mid-band trader and see if you can get a mid-band trade. Now we may get our target first, but if we do get a mid-band trade, we'll take it. Everybody see that? Now my little oil trade, by the way, right this very moment is up 1420. And by the way, that's only 2 contracts. See how that's coming right down to the line that we want? See, could you just hit the close button if it even tries to come off your line and then get in another mid-band trade? Where's your mid-band trade setting up? Well, to me, it's setting up here to here, little sweet spot. And I'll teach you how to see this in the room in real time. I've got a lot of traders that have learned, you know, do you have to really draw fibs and stuff like that on your chart? The swings are king. You can tell where a trade is by simply looking at the swings. Because think about it, where's a swing happen? At like a Fibonacci number, right? There's a mid-band trade right there. See it right there? Mid-band trade setting up. Got 2 in again, got your stop in, you're good to go. And just see if it works. That's close. Mid-band trade. It's got to get a lower high or it's going to take us out. Okay. And then you move your stop, or pardon me, your target down to the low. Look to the left to trade the right. You got another swing down here at 77.15. And I would think they'd probably bounce there a little bit, so I'd probably take some coin at that. Okay. And then see now, instead, you've got $1,560. So could you actually say, you know what, that's pretty darn good for the day. Just hit the button the moment you decide you want to. When I trade, to give an example, I don't try to get $3,000, $4,000. I try to get a good living, hit the coin when you get it, and then don't let them take a bunch of it back. See how that's taking some back right there? You don't have to let them do that. Okay, but you can ride what we call the swings. Okay, because again, swings are king. If they actually get a lower high on this than the previous high, then you'll do pretty good on this trade. Okay, but if they don't, see, now that stopped you out. That's fine. That stopped you out. Okay, now could you just wait for another stair-stepping mid-band and get another trade? Absolutely you can. What about a phantom again? Well, there's a phantom trade. Let's see if we can get one. That's a phantom trade. We'll go ahead and put our stop at line 8. See the phantom hit resistance right there and trying to roll over. It's really not as difficult as people try to make this. You know, and once you get to a point where you've got the coin, just like I said, we had almost 1,600 a minute ago, and we let a bunch of it go away. Okay, you don't have to do that. And by the way, if you get back to it, like this right here is trying to, then go ahead and take some coin, because a lot of times if you don't, they'll take it back from you. Okay, let's say we just want 1,600 for the day. Just have your finger on the close trigger and take it the moment you see it. A lot of our traders do that all the time. They don't care about other trades. See how it took it back again? You know, is this going to take us out before it even goes down? Possibly. Looks like it is. It's taking us out. Nope, didn't get us. Came really, really, really close. Okay, but see what I'm getting at of taking coin instead of waiting for them to go back against you. Now I've got 1560 on my oil trade right now. Okay, if you looked at the oil trade, if you're looking at your charts, you got a swing up at 71.91. You want to take some profit there. Okay, very important to take profit there, because that could easily double top. Now look at that. We're back at our 16 again. Let's see if we can get 16 and just hit the button. 1450. Are they going to give it to us? Maybe not. Every time it gets close to 16, you see how they're trying to do you right here? Now, if we get a lower high, we'll stick this out. And I'll go ahead and put my stop just right above line 6. And there's 1,600. You want to just take it? Missed an opportunity. What do you think? Usually if I get close to something like that and they start dilly-dallying around sideways on me, there you go, you got it. Okay? So basically what I like to teach, and teach it every single day of my life, is that people can make money trading futures. Now, if you think about this particular trade setup that's going on right now, okay, this is actually pretty sideways now, right? So we had some people in the room this morning that simply drew a line on their charts. If you're more of a conservative trader, you can clearly see you got support right here. You got resistance right across here. Everybody see that? All right. So I had one guy that actually used Object Trader and had the region set right down here and just waited around until it actually took it. He took his box and did this right here. Said, okay, if you break this, I'm going to short you. And he just simply turned that on right there. And you're not taking any longs or anything. You're simply waiting on the trade to set up. And watch what actually happened. And we called this phantom trade too, by the way, in the room this morning, if you were there. Now see, as that gets down to that low, all you got to do is turn that little deal on right there. And if it breaks that swing right there by 2 ticks, Object Trader will fire. See, and it just went sideways for a while. That was another phantom we called. We had our box drawn, and there you go. See there? You get some nice trades like that, okay? Now, if you didn't take the breakout trade on this, I called the exact trade in the room, and keep in mind that I'm going to do this for you in real time. I simply drew a line, and I told everybody, if it comes back up to that line right there, take a short. So we simply put a little box like this, put our short at the top, inactive on the bottom. If it touched within 2 ticks of that region right there, fire 2 contracts, and watch what actually happened on that. And this was called in real time. And this was some really good people trading on it. See how that little box will fire that trade for you? And then you just move your target. And you just keep going and going and going. But got another little tool for you too. We've got one called the predictor. Now the predictor, you'll see it actually light up right here. You could turn that back on as it came off that predictor right there, and even add a contract if you wanted to. Okay, we kind of missed that one because it just came out quick. But see there's like 2,300 for the day. Is that good enough? Could you quit for the day? Absolutely. you're done, right? Now that's just oil. If you looked at gold, trades that were called on gold this morning, by the way, these were huge. When I opened the room this morning, this is what was happening with gold. Okay, I opened the room at 7:45ish. You can't take it now because it's just going to town. Okay, but what we wait for is a retrace, and we wait patiently for what we call a mid-band trade. Yellow bar, see the yellow bar there? That little trade right there set up at mid-band, and you just simply boxed it in with our little tool. And if you boxed it in, you'll notice that it actually took the trade, came back against your box, no big deal, and then took off like a bird. That was a monster trade. Okay, and that's all you got to do. And then we draw our line in the sand long short. If it happens to break that, we're looking for very possibly changing trends. It broke that, kissed resistance right there, and rolled over. Called that trade also. Called this trade also right here. This is a mid-band trade, first time after a trend change. We got that little trade. It was a little sloppy, but it worked. And that's what you do every single day of your life. You just take trades like this, take them continually until you get where you want to be. But the beauty of Viper Trading Systems is that I've developed some scripts that are pretty solid. Object Trader to take the trade. We diagnose our trades with auto fib. We diagnose our trade with swings. And in that room, I watch gold, oil, and ES. And I'll call trades on all three of those before they ever get to where they are. And if I miss one, I'll never brag and say, wow, look at that one. You know, that was a mid-band trade. Well, you know, I look at that like tough luck. I didn't call it. You might have gotten it if you weren't. Let's say, for instance, you were trading oil and you said, you know what, Gary, you missed the mid-band trade. Okay, then I won't say that I got $500 on it if I missed it because I didn't take it. But if you take these trades over and over and over, see that mid-band trade, stair stepping down, mid-band trade. You think about this, even if you just did small bursts and you didn't care how far they went down. There's a phantom trade that's 10 ticks up at least. There's a mid-band trade that's at least. So let's say you did two contracts. That's 200, 200. This trade was called right here exactly. 200, boxed in. That one felt a little bit of heat, but 200. Boxed in again at mid-band, 200. So you can do the math, right? There's another one for 200 right there. There's another one for 200 right there if you do two contracts. So add those up. 2, 4, 6, right? So 200, 400, 600, 800, 1,000. There's another one right there, by the way, that was another 200. That's 1,200, and that's 1,400. That's 1,600, and that's 1,800. So you could be done with just gold alone. I had people just trade gold alone, just like that, and made really, really good money. And you can do this. You can do this on a daily basis. But again, the key to it is having good scripts. Now, I went to a webinar yesterday about order flow, and I noticed that our charts got in so much quicker than order flow did. Matter of fact, I went to it in the afternoon, and the guy was looking at this trade. Let's see, was it 8:46? His, trying to think of when it was his time. Yeah, it was right here. See where this, basically you had a low, you had a high, you had a higher low. Boom, mid-band trade. His didn't get him in until like 65. We were in down here, or even here. I even teach this trade. That's a little breakout trade. You can easily take that trade at 40 because you had a low, a high, a higher low, and boom, you took it up. That's a 10-tick trade. That's a 10-tick trade. That's a 10-tick trade. There's a 10-tick trade. They're all over the place. Another one, okay? Another one mid-band. Wait for the trend to change. Another one. They're just all over. And at Viper Trading Systems, I'm going to teach you how to see these trades in real time. And our members area, by the way, let me go back to members area. All right. In the members area right here, if you join up with Viper, you just click on what we call the library, and I've got a little getting started area. I've even got archives of hundreds of hours of recordings that you can just click on this right here and you'll get to that area. Matter of fact, it's right here. Lots and lots of things to look at. And whoops, sorry. We'll go back here again. And also, you have the weekly links to the room, so you don't ever have to worry about missing an email. You just simply click the little box here, and it'll show you the links for the room, trading room, webinar. Click on it, join the webinar. It's that easy. So everything is just really streamlined. Now, our pricing is normally $3.99 a month. Now that's up there a little bit, but with my trade calls and everything, if I could make you $1,000 a day, would you probably pay that? I've had people in the past do that, but I've actually lowered prices with Viper Trading Systems to help you out because I want people to be profitable and not have to worry about a car payment. That used to be a car payment. Nowadays, that's not even a car payment, by the way. You know, a car payment nowadays is what, $700-800? They're ridiculous. Yeah, $1,000. Yeah, they're crazy, aren't they? So what I want to offer you today is this deal right here. Bear with me a second. Linda sent me a link. She didn't send it yet. Just a second. Sorry about that. She forgot to send it. Bear with me just a second. I'll get it for you. All right. And in the email, if you got our email and you read it, I'm going to offer you the price that I'm going to give you here, but I'm also going to, if you want it, you're welcome to have an Apex account on Viper. Let me go ahead and just start this right here. Okay, I'm going to give you a price $150 off of the monthly. You don't have to worry about it going up the next month. It will not go up. Okay, you'll get $249 a month. I'm going to give you an Apex account at my 80% off discount that's going on right now through Valentine's Day. Now, after Valentine's Day, I won't give one of these away. Okay, but through Valentine's Day, I'm going to give you an Apex account if you want it, and all you have to do is buy it through Apex, use our code, and send us a email showing that you bought it, and we'll refund you the $33.40 that runs. That's all that runs is $33.40, and you'll have a $50,000 account that you can get funded with my trade calls. And keep in mind, if you did this on one day, you're $600 away from being fully funded on the first day. All you have to do after that is just go in and, hey, make a couple of $100 here and there, get it up to 3,000, and you're funded. Okay. So if you want to do away with the high cost of everything, I can tell you this, that trading does the trick. You have to learn a few things, and I'm going to teach you those. It's not difficult. You know, it'll seem like drinking out of a fire hose at first, because you'll look at this and go, whoa, what is all this? It's pretty easy. It's got regions on it. It's got, we've got a new feature called Region Auto that's coming out next week or so. Now the Region Auto, what it'll do is it'll actually, this is going to be pretty cool. I'll show you what it'll do. Basically, instead of firing this trade right here where that faked you in on the mid-band trade, it's going to look at the last two bars on each of these trades, like so, and see that never fired because it went back in the box, and then the box redraws like this. It'll pop up to the next two bars that actually go up instead, and then it would fire. Oh, you're not seeing, sorry about that. I apologize for that. What I've done is I've actually designed a tool called the Region Auto. And the Region Auto, what it'll do, and this is coming out for our members here in the next week or so, it will actually keep drawing a box until it fires the trade. Can you talk a bit about how to link my Apex account on my platform, please? You're talking about on NinjaTrader platform? Oh, it's easy. You just have to set up they give you a login and a password. And one thing about us here at Viper Trading Systems, I do this for a living. This is just an awesome part of my life. I love it. I was in retail for 25 years, liked it okay, but this is just awesome to be able to teach people. It's like giving back. So I teach people on a daily basis how to do this, but I'm also around to help you too. Okay. You can actually go to our contact link, and this is actually just a little filled in just for the fun of it. Put in your name, first name, last name, email address, phone number, and write us a message. And we've got a sophisticated system now that when you actually get in touch with us, it even comes to my cell phone and everything. I could be at Costco shopping and I'll get your message. So we don't leave people hanging at all. At 10 o'clock last night, we had a guy join up for Viper. We saw it immediately, because it comes in on my cell phone, my wife's cell phone, and even my son's if we have it turned on his. Okay. But if you want to get in touch with me, just simply fill out a form and write me a message and I'll get right back with you. Okay. I also have TeamViewer. I help people by TeamViewer all the time. You just simply click this little link right here and that'll get you a TeamViewer download. See right there, save the file. You just save it, goes to your download folder, you open it, and it'll give you a user ID and a password. And then I can come into your computer and put the scripts on for you. Okay, so I'm all about making sure that people get profitable. I've got traders all over the world nowadays that are trading with us. I've got probably 100 traders that don't even come into the room because they've gotten so successful at it that they don't come to the trading room every day. They don't need to. Okay, and once you get to that point, you don't need to either. But they still have my scripts because they like the idea of using Object Trader, box in a trade, take a mid-band trade, that type of thing. Okay. So what I'm going to do on this is I'm going to put this link in the chat box. Bear with me a second. Let's see, futures trading pricing. Here we go. I'll put this pricing in, not this price. We don't want that one. We'll put this price in right here into your chat log. All right. Oh, and I want to mention one thing too. There are a lot of indicators out on the market today, but nobody takes the time to actually, just build literally a nice template. We have a template called the Object Trader NT8, and it'll draw this on your chart every single time. Okay, you don't have to worry about figuring out things. Like just to give an example, there's, I know some of you have heard about like Ninjacators, to give an example. They've got one suite with them that's like 72 indicators. Okay, which one do you use? Well, if you go to, 50, 60 webinars, you'll probably figure out some good ones. But keep in mind that you could just have a chart that stays the same, whether it's CL, whether it's ES, or whether it's gold. And you just simply put on this template called Object Trader NT8 right there, and that's it. Load it on your chart, and you're ready to go. It's that easy. Okay. And now when you get our scripts off the website, you're welcome to install them yourself if you want, but you don't have to. Okay, because I am around for TeamViewer. If you go to our site and go to the members area, let me see if I got a members area here. We'll back up a little bit. All right, notice that we have download the latest scripts right here. So if you want to do it yourself, all you have to do is click that to download, and there's the scripts right there. And all you have to do is put that in your download folder, the templates in your download folder, and the HC lines in your download folder. And then read this right here and it'll show you how to do it. Real easy. Okay. So I'd love to have a bunch of you join up with us. We're the real deal. I promise you that. I call trades every single day in the room. I've got people that have been with us since day one. and have stayed with us. I've got people that come and go as far as that goes. They have jobs, maybe they get on a, like a second shift, or maybe they go from second to first and they can't trade. Well, they can come back if they want to. Does it work on other markets like NQ, RTY? Yes. Now, the only thing is, Mark, and I was even listening to a guy yesterday that did a webinar on order flow. NQ is a fast market. Okay. NQ, what I think you really want to do with NQ is you want to pretty much go in and scalp. And a 4-range chart is too fast for NQ. It'll slow Ninja down, to be truthful about it. So if I was doing NQ, I'd probably put it on about an 8 to a 12 range chart, or possibly even a 1-minute chart. I don't like time charts at all, but it would sure keep it from slowing your Ninja down, because NQ is fast. I mean, I can put it on a chart and you'll see how quick it moves. Okay, it's loading right now. See, it's loaded so far. Now this has just been in the past, what are we at, 11:46? So just the last few minutes. Now this is on a replay chart, so I guess I don't have any replay data on this right now, but you can see that just from 9:41 to 9:46, that's 5 minutes. So if you think about this, let's just go from 9:40 way back here and even here. So all of this is within 6 minutes. You can't get up and get a cup of coffee. Because look at this. What if you would have shorted this break, got a monster trade, shorted this mid-band, got a nice trade, shorted this mid-band, got a nice trade, but then if you held on to it all the way back, see? So I would say be careful with NQ, because that's a lot of bars. All those bars in literally 6 minutes. Okay. Where if you look at like ES, it's not near like that. And the liquidity on ES is through the roof too. If you look at ES, let's just go ahead and go to the end of my deal, and we'll see what ES was actually at the end of the day, if it'll load. But let's just look at the same thing we were talking about just a few minutes ago. All right, this is basically 8:30 when ES opens up. Okay. So we actually had a line drawn on this chart in the room this morning. This was our long short line. You boxed it in, you got yourself 10, 15 ticks. Okay. This was a phantom trade that didn't work, gave you a couple, 3, 4 ticks and didn't work. But then you had the mid-band trade that did work. I mean, if you got this trade and that trade, you're done for the day as far as that goes. That's 2 good trades, by the way. You got that trade again, that's a mid-band trade. That little trade there pretty much rolled over. That's a 10-tick trade. This is called a phantom trade still, even with that green background. That trade was called out right across there, short. So there's lots of trades on even ES as far as that goes. And here's all the way to the end of the day right here. This is all the data that I copied anyway. But look at these trades. See, there's a phantom trade. There's a mid-band trade. There's a mid-band trade. There's a mid-band trade. This never came to mid-band. That's a mid-band trade, but it went to phantom background, so you didn't take it. That's a phantom trade. You took it. That's 10 ticks. And then this broke what we call the long short line in the sand right there. And that's a monster short. What are you waiting for right now? You're waiting for a mid-band trade. You already know, I mean, I can tell you this, that you already know that if this takes this out, it's no longer heading down. So you need a lower high than this, and you're going to be watching for a sweet trade right around that mid-band. Okay? So let me put that in the chat box one more time. Sorry about that. Let me get this. Go here. This is the price right here. And again, if you'll go ahead and join up with me, I'll buy you, Linda and I will, that's my wife, we will buy you an Apex $50,000 account. Now, keep in mind, by the way, if you decide, let's say that you get that account and you accidentally mess it up. Okay, let's say that you just accidentally mess it up. Then if you wait till the next billing, it's only going to cost you $33.40 on including tax again. So you'd have it reset at $50,000 again, because somebody might accidentally fail one if they don't trade exactly the way they should, because you do have to trade like it's taught. Okay, so basically, get you a $50,000 account, get it funded, get you three or four of them if you want. You know, they're cheap. You think about it, most people in the past had to put up five to $10,000 to ever trade because margins were through the roof in the old days. You know, to give an example, oil was like $2,000 a contract. So if you wanted to trade two contracts, you had to have at least four, but then you had to have a little bit of wiggle room. So you had to have probably closer to eight. So I highly recommend trading somebody else's money because it's very profitable. Okay. And by doing that and doing something like Apex here, that's just one of their accounts. They've got a smaller one, they've got a larger one, they've got a much larger one, they've got all the way up to $300,000 one. This one though, you have to hit 20 grand in profit, but they'll let you draw down as much as 7,500. So I've got some people doing this, and they'll trade more contracts, obviously. Okay. Now, the beauty of when you get funded with somebody like Apex is that you can actually buy in. You have to pay for the data and the Ninja license. Even if you've got your own Ninja license, it doesn't matter. They will charge you 85 a month once you're funded, or a 140 one-time fee for this account. But then after that, you're home free. Let's say that you make 500 a day. All right. 6 days later, you're up $3,000. 12 days later, you're up six. Withdraw a couple of thousand, right? That's all you got to do. And then if you get up higher, you draw some more, you draw some more, you draw some more. And they're real good about paying. They pay around the first of the month and the 15th of the month. They've got some wiggle room days there. There's like 5 days that you have to get your order in to be paid. But they pay. And they pay through a company called deal.com. And they're real good about paying people. Okay. So I'd love to have you with me. I recorded this webinar. I will get it out to everybody that wasn't here today. I'll offer them the same deal. If you're with us, we certainly appreciate it. If you want to come in with us, we'd love to have you. And keep in mind too that this is not a marriage. It's not a contract. Okay. If you don't like us after a month or two, we can go our separate ways and still be great friends. And get in touch with me if you ever need anything. I've helped people on Ninja Trader even when they haven't been members before because they knew I knew how to do it. So, I'm around to be. I want to be not only your trade caller, but also like a friend to you. Because at Viper Trading Systems, my whole goal is to get everybody nicely green and then turn off the machines. You don't have to keep trading all day long. That trade that I was up over $1,500 on Apex, I took it out literally when it came back down through line 6 because I saw that it made a lower high. And you just got to train your eyes to see things like that. Okay, so I'll show you here again. This is the normal pricing, but that's not what you have to pay. You'll get a better price, which is right here, $249 a month. Okay, and I'll give you an Apex account. And I'll tell you what, if you'll remind me of the people that are in this webinar only and the ones that'll hear the recording, if you accidentally flunk this, then when it comes around your renewal, I'll buy you a second one because I want people to be profitable and make money. Now this is like through PayPal right here, but you can also do just your credit card information. We go through PayPal and we also go through Stripe. So whoever you choose to go through is fine. Stripe is real good because it's got a lot of cards, that they do. They even do your bank account as far as it goes if you want. Okay. But it's real easy. You just simply fill in your name, your email address, your phone number, choose the item that you're wanting to purchase, which is at 249, and just click complete order and it'll do it. It'll go to your PayPal if you're using PayPal. If you want to use your card number, you just click here. Okay. All right. I hope everybody got something out of this webinar, just a little under an hour. But I want you to rest assured that every morning in that room, you come in there and we're going to have those trades set up on those charts. And again, all you got to do is get a couple of them. You don't have to get 10 trades. But if you get good enough to see them, you can, because our colors and everything will keep you on the right side of it, because we trade on the right side of the charts, except for these little breakouts. We'll take those. Like what I've taken when I saw this happening in real time where it took out this swing, came back and kissed midband. I box that in, take 10 ticks in a heartbeat. That's a trade I teach even right there. Okay. So anybody have any questions? I've been talking for almost an hour, but I'll open it up to questions if anybody has any questions at all. We watch 4 charts in the room. Now I call trades on 3 of them. We use YM mostly for the direction, because YM will usually break out before ES will, and you'll be able to tell that ES is actually heading up instead of down, or vice versa. So we watch YM. Now there's some of our people that trade it too. We show you some trades that got some people took this morning even. Now this is after the room closed, so that isn't fair. What is this one right here? First of all, it broke our line in the sand long short right through there, so you shorted it. But look at that mid-band trade. Is that good enough right there for a couple of $100? And another mid-band trade, couple of $100? Absolutely. And that's all you got to get. Before I even opened, see, here's another mid-band trade right here. Oh, sorry, this thing keeps locking up. I apologize for that. Let me just show you real quick. I opened the room right in through this area right here. Okay, so I opened the room. There's your phantom trade right there. Let's say that you just did 2 contracts and you went for, I don't know, 20 ticks. YM's pretty good at getting 20 ticks. So there's $200. There's a mid-band trade, $200. There's a phantom trade, $200. There's a phantom trade short, right color background for a phantom short, a mid-band short, mid-band short. You get the picture, right? You don't have to stay with these trades. 200, 200, 200, 200, 200. That's enough. You're done for the day. You don't have to keep trading, and that's at 8:30. And I've got people that peruse these charts and take these trades in a heartbeat when they see them show up, and then just simply go for those scalps. You can do it. Phantom trade, that's another $200. There's a little breakout trade right in through here, obviously, when it took out resistance and even mid-band, which they do a lot. And you had another trend change. See my trend change to stair-stepping mid-band. First time into mid-band trade, second time, third time, fourth time even. So there's another trade, another trade, another trade. Just all over the place. And all you got to do is train your eye to see them. Don't stay in a trade forever, because as a rule, there's a phantom trade long, there's a phantom trade long, there's a phantom trade long, there's a phantom trade long. See that color background? This trade will fire automatically on those green bars. See there? If you want it to. It'll fire on that one. Now this one you can't see because it's a doji. If I put an outline on it, you could see it. That will flash. I'll show you. We'll just put an outline on it. It's right at the top though. Let's see. Yeah. You can't see it because it's still, no matter what, it's just a hammer doji, but it will fire on that bar. That's a phantom trade. So again, if you just train your eye to see these, they're all over the place. Phantom trade again right there. Was this a breakdown of a high, low, lower high? We call that trade all the time right there, where you could short that. Now, we don't short it right away. We like to box it. That way you don't accidentally get a wick down and then pop in your face. Okay? So come join the team. I'll get you nicely green. We'll turn off the machines. You'll get your Apex account funded, and you'll be making coin. All right. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Hope you enjoyed it. And Mark, on your question about linking that account, I'll be happy to help you link that. Just give me a shout. Let me go back to our contact link real quick. If you'll go to our contact link on the website, you'll find out that we've got an email address you can contact us on. I am Viper Trader on Skype, okay? And there's a phone number right to my desk. Not like the other vendors out there. If you've noticed other vendors, they don't give you phone numbers hardly anymore. They email and they wait 24 hours. But if you need to get in touch with me, you can do it here. You can do it here, contact. You can do it on my chat widget. We've got a chat widget right here that you're welcome to use. You just click chat, put in your name, phone number, and a little message. Okay? That was Biden's. No, I'm teasing. That was actually somebody named Hunter. All right, everyone, thank you very much for coming. Hope you enjoyed it. And anybody needs to get in touch with me, do so. And please join up with us. I'll have you even set up on your computer as quick as this afternoon if you want. Okay, thanks again, everybody, for coming. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll get this email out so that somebody can have a recording of it, because recording's a little bit better to kind of slow it down. I talk fast sometimes. Okay, thanks, everyone. Have a good one. Yeah, and real quick, one more time, be sure and copy this little link here, because it's not on the website. If you go to the website to price it, it will go to the $3.99. But if you go to this link right here, pricing-3617, it'll go straight to this link right here. Okay, so if you can't remember that link or something, I'll post it one more time. Just be sure and write it down, and I'll post it again right in the little chat box. All right, got it right there. I'll wait just a moment so everybody can copy it if you want. It's real easy though. vipertradingsystems.com/pricing-3617. That's just a code that this page comes up on. Okay. How you like our new logo? Anybody? We had a different logo before, but this guy came up with this one. I thought was pretty cool. See the V and the T, Viper Trading. Looks like a bull though, doesn't it? That's because of bull markets, everything's heading up. And we've automated everything a lot. So, you don't have to worry about, passwords and things like that. They'll be emailed to you. You'll have everything, set up and ready to go. I've made it real easy. I've also got YouTube. We're on Facebook, Instagram, not so much, Twitter some, but this is fairly new because Charles and I weren't really into social media. We're old dudes, and he passed away, unfortunately, at 61 years old. I'm 69, by the way, but I'm going more social media nowadays because the kiddos are helping. And they're not kids anymore. My son will be 45 this year, but he helps to do some of this. And then I've got a guy from church that helps us do the website and stuff. All right, thanks everybody. Have a good one.